they come. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Welcome to YouTube, TikTok. I don't know. We got LinkedIn. We got Facebook. How's everybody doing? It's Walter with Where's Walter Travel. I'm your independent travel agent, and we book cruises, land, luxury, and expedition. And it's time for our usual Sunday. What day is it? It's Sunday morning. It's our Cruise Chat Live Sunday morning. Good to see everybody. I can't even keep track of time. We just got off a 2-day voyage on the Resilient Lady, Virgin Voyages' third lady ship, Resilient Lady. We had a 2-day seminar at sea. Had a great time. Got to spend some time with John DiOrio, who's the Vice President of North America. We got to spend some time with Nirmal. I cannot pronounce his last name, but he's the CEO of Virgin Voyages, and had a really, really good town hall session with them. Lots of great things coming from Virgin Voyages, including a brand new app. A brand new app. They have promised a brand new app. It's just about ready. It's going to come out in December or January. It is hopefully going to take away all the problems with booking dining on Virgin Voyages. So, yay, that's coming. So, who's here? Well, oh, man, we got Sue and Phil. Joe's here, Bill's fan. How you doing? Kaylin's here. Peggy's here. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a lovely Sunday morning where you are. It's like 66 degrees here in Orlando. It is beautiful out here today. Absolutely lovely. So I hope you guys are having a good day wherever you are. If you're new to the show, you're new to the channel, we invite you to subscribe, share, like, and do all the wonderful things that social media likes you to do. And whatever questions you may have about all things cruising, please go ahead and drop them in the question. And if we can help you in any way, our services are 100% free. So you can find our information either in the descriptions and our profiles, wherever you're watching us right now. You can find links to get a hold of us. So it's 40 degrees in Toronto, Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Fahrenheit in Toronto, just slightly cooler up that way. So, wow, that was loud. Is that a hawk trying to get something? Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? So we just got off 2 days on the Resilient Lady. I was able to expand my cruise fleet. So welcome to the newest member of the Where's Walter Travel cruise fleet. This is the Virgin Voyages plushie. So I now have 3 or 4 inflatables, and I've got 2 plushies in the cruise fleet. So I like to find the silly stuff, the absolutely silly stuff. So yay.
Well, you have to get another plushie when we get back on the Aqua. Hopefully they'll have one.
Hopefully they'll still have them on the on Norwegian, because I got the Escape there. So I don't know if they've still got them on Norwegian. So we'll see. But anytime I see an inflatable ship or a plushie ship, I'm going to buy it because I just love them.
I don't even argue anymore.
Exactly. And Kaylin says it's trying to snow in Utah. Yay! I do like snow. We haven't been in it for a long time, but I do like snow. So what was the other thing Virgin Voyage? There were 2 big things that Virgin said. One, they said the new app is coming.
Oh, new groups program.
Oh, yeah. And a whole new group program is coming. So just like the other cruise lines, groups on Virgin Voyages will now have somewhat of a discount. Sounds like it's going to be a 10% discount on the prevailing rates. And we'll be able to lock the rates in just like we can do with other cruise lines. So like right now, we've got groups on Oceania. We've got groups on Norwegian, Margaritaville, Princess, and we've locked the rates in, and we get to hold those rates, until the group is recalled. But on Virgin Voyages, it's always been, well, you book at the prevailing rate, and we give you onboard credit. Well, that's all going to change too. We're actually going to be able to lock in rates, and we're going to get a discount on Virgin Voyages. So that's incredibly cool. So I love it. Dr. Bruin, where do people buy all those custom magnets on doors that you see? Well, there's all kinds of places. Certainly Amazon, probably Etsy. There's things like
Amazon, you wouldn't get customized ones. You get generic ones.
But you might get them on Etsy. You might get them on TeePublic. There is what is it? Mule magnets or something like that. There's a bunch of places out there where you can find them. And I know we see these custom magnets. In fact, when we were on the Virgin Voyages, we saw a whole bunch of them that said Team Tamika, which is my representative. I was like, man, nobody gave me the memo. I would have had a Team Tamika out on mine. So Rachel's looking for a cruise line that has fewer kids. Well, 2 right off the bat: Virgin Voyages and Viking Ocean. You got to be 18 plus.
Viking anything.
Yeah, Viking anything. You got to be 18 plus just to get on the ship. So those 2 right off the bat. If you're looking for adult centric, Then you're going to be on Princess, Celebrity, Holland America. Yeah, those would be the three mainstream.
Or the luxury lines.
Yeah, and then you start moving into luxury, Azamara, Oceana, Explora, things like that.
And the other thing to do is to go on cruises that are longer than 7 days.
Yeah, so the two other tricks are you go on cruises that are longer than 7 days, and that means that you're longer than 7 days from the home port. So some longer cruises can actually be a combination of two shorter cruises, like Princess is a great example. They do East and West Caribbean all the time. It's a 14-day cruise, but you actually come back to the home port in between. So they're really 7-day cruises, so there may be more kids on those. But when you get a cruise that is legitimately over 7 days, and especially if you go over 10 days, you're going to have fewer kids on there because less families come on for longer than a week. Plus, you go when the kids are in school. When the predominant amount of kids in either the U.S. or whatever country that you're going to be cruising, when they're in school, there's going to be fewer children on the ship. So even like if you go on a Royal Caribbean ship, there would be fewer kids on board, or maybe younger kids on board when the predominant amount of kids are in school. But yeah, that's a few of them. I mean, if you want to reach out, we'd be more than happy to try to find something that worked, for your time frame where you want to go, and also, obviously, most importantly, within your budget of where you want to go. We're going to cruise for a month between December and January. We're going to be on Explorer Journeys, Azamara, and we're going to be on Virgin Voyages again because we're a top 100 sales agent for Virgin Voyages again. So Azamara, Oceana, they're fabulous cruise line, especially if you like food. But yeah, reach out. Our services are free, so just reach out. Let's see. Can you add a third person to? I guess that's the Royal Caribbean. You can.
Maybe.
There's two things. One is the stateroom rated for 3 people. Only certain or configured for 3 people. Only certain staterooms on all cruise ships are configured for more than 2 people. That's number one. So number one, can your stateroom even take the third person? Number two, if the muster station is already filled in the area where your stateroom is, then you will not be able to add anybody, even if your room can actually take it. You might have to move to a different location, or you might have to move to a different category. So can the third person be added? That just depends on those factors right there. But your travel agent will be able to help you out. Or if you don't have one, then you can just call Royal Caribbean, and they should be able to help you out as well. User 835, you're going on the Sun Princess. Awesome. We just went on the Sun Princess a few weeks ago with a whole group. Is it worth it for the medallion? Absolutely. Everybody who goes on Princess, well, you're going to get the medallion. It's either a $10 charge to ship it to home, or you're going to pick it up at the cruise port. So everybody gets one unless you absolutely don't want it. I mean, the medallion is included in the cruise fare. It's just whether it gets shipped to you or not. So it's not like you're paying anything extra for the medallion. It's just whether or not you're getting it shipped to you. Is it worth it for the Princess Plus package or the Premier? I think it's absolutely worth it for the Plus because the gratuities are in there, drinks package in there, Wi-Fi is in there. Those are 3 very popular things that people always have to pay for. Plus, you get a whole bunch more that comes with it. Premier, that's up to you whether those added benefits are worth it. Now, on a ship like the Sun with so many restaurants, it could be worth it because there's a lot of restaurants and you get unlimited dining when you go with Premier. So
for specialty restaurants.
Well, everything, casual, specialty,
yes,
everything. So you get unlimited dining.
But that's the added perk is.
Yeah. Well, it's also unlimited casual because with Plus you get 2 casual.
I just was making sure
so it's just basically unlimited dining. Any restaurant you want to go to, except Love by Brito. That's the one that's not included.
Oh, and Spellbound.
Well, it's not really a
yeah,
restaurant.
But there's a meal
experience.
involved.
Yeah, it's an experience.
But
so
that's not in.
Good morning, Silver Librarian. How are you? Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Kurt. Good morning, Fred. How's everybody doing? Good to see you. If you're new to the channel, I'm Walter, your independent travel agent. And as always, my lovely wife, Rebecca, is sitting right off camera. So if there's any way that we can help you out with your travel, just reach out. Where's waltertravel.com? Or there are links in the description. Housekeeping note right now for those of you watching on TikTok, if you would like to talk about Virgin Voyages or ask questions about Virgin Voyages. You need to use the letters VV. You cannot use the word virgin on TikTok. They will block the question. That's not us. That's TikTok doing it. So if you want to talk about this really fun cruise line, absolutely, let's talk about it. We just got off the Resilient Lady. We're going back on the Valiant Lady in January. We do love talking about Virgin Voyages. Yeah.
And just backtracking a little bit.
Yeah.
Is it worth it for the medallion? That was a ship, but the medallion is amazing.
Yeah.
In general, as
Yeah.
a concept, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You don't have to carry a cruise card.
Mm-hmm.
You can, wear it on as a kind of a watch or a bracelet or a clip or a necklace or a lanyard, however you want to do it. And that gets you on and off the ship. You charge things to your cabin account for it. It's amazing.
And your door's going to open up when you get within about 3 doors of your door. Your door's just going to unlock. It is the coolest thing. So, Sassy, how are you? Good to see you. You're welcome, user 835. Where is an ideal place to go in a wheelchair? So I assume you mean travel. Certainly the more modern cruise ships, like anything 10 years old or newer, I think they're probably better set up, and the spaces have gotten wider, like the spaces for you to move about, and in a lot of cases, the elevators have gotten a little bit larger too to accommodate you better. But just offhand, I say any modern cruise ship. I don't know where else you would want to go. 2 things to keep in mind if you want to go to Europe. There's a lot of places in Europe that are not necessarily ADA friendly.
And we're talking off the ship.
Yeah, off the ship. And then up in Alaska, there are places that are not necessarily ADA friendly once you get off the ship. Those are just 2 things to keep in mind. Other than that, I'd say the world is your oyster.
And the only thing I would suggest is if you do want to book a cruise and you do need an accessible cabin, book as early as you possibly can. Absolutely. Because there are very limited amounts of them and they can run out.
Yeah. So we do work with multiple clients who have wheelchairs and or scooters. And, that's the biggest thing. We need to get them on early. We need to book very, very early. Because I would say on most cruise ships, the actual accessible cabin might be less than 5% of the entire inventory. So it's a very, very small inventory. So if you want to book those, you definitely need to do it earlier. So Joe is looking for some Black Friday deals for 1, maybe 2 bookings, including a solo. Who will have the best solo supplements? So right off the bat, your solo cruise lines are going to be Virgin Voyages and Norwegian Cruise Line. Those are the two that right off the bat, they have actual solo staterooms. They advertise solo stateroom. Royal Caribbean has some. Princess had the thing. Oh, and Virgin Voyages I think they're still running that solo supplement special. I need to double check. But they were running a no solo supplement special on select voyages across all 4 lady ships. So you could get a Sea Terrace basically priced for 1 with no solo supplement. I believe, those are still running until December 31st, but they change up the ships and they change up which ships we can book. So so you can get a balcony on Norwegian Cruise Line. You can get inside ocean view and balconies as a solo. Princess often has unadvertised low solo supplements. They never really advertise them, but we just find them when we book. It's like, so that's not a bad rate. Explorer Journeys is running a no solo supplement or a low, so I think 115% solo supplement right now. And Oceana, very solo friendly as well. So they're out there, Joe. We just need to go find them for you. We have a solo traveler on the Norwegian Aqua. Her rate went down by about 1,000, which was shocking. Like even the people at Norwegian, like we've never seen anything like this. I don't know why they dropped it that much.
It was the transatlantic.
It's the transatlantic.
So
it was just bizarre. It was a studio room, which was bizarre. Like none of the other rooms on that ship dropped even like remotely that close, but that particular room did. So Joe, I mean, if it's something you're looking into and you give us a time frame and where you want to go, well, we can go ahead and try to help you out and see what we can find. But in general, you start with those. Oh, and then Celebrity has the solo infinite balconies on the Edge class as well. So we can always take a look. Hey, Celeste, how are you? Good to see you. Is the WOW band as useful as the medallion? Not to my knowledge, no. In fact, I don't even know exactly what the WOW band do because they're so rarely used for Royal Caribbean.
Well, they've just started in the past maybe 4 or 5 months, 6 months, maybe bringing them back to the Oasis class and the Quantum class.
I mean, basically, the Ocean Medallion is all you need on the ship. The Ocean Medallion allows you to get on and off the ship. It opens your doors, and you use it for all the retail services as well. And so it 100% replaces a C card. I don't know how much I think the WOW band certainly will open your door. I don't know if you can actually walk on and off the ship. Like, an interesting thing with MSC, we actually bought the wristband, but we couldn't walk off the ship with it. We still had to have our key card to actually walk off the ship, because that's where our picture was associated with. Whereas the Ocean Medallion, the other cool thing about the Ocean Medallion is when you go to the coffee shop, you go to a restaurant or whatever, they're going to say, "Hi, Walter. Hi, Rebecca. How are you?" Because your picture actually comes up on their screens when you walk up because of the medallion. So it's actually kind of cool how all that works. So I to my knowledge, nothing. There is no other band out there at sea that even comes close to what the medallion does.
But it's still a nice thing.
Yeah, I mean, if that thing opens your door, just if it opens your door for you, that'll be fabulous.
And pays for things on the ship.
Yeah.
Those are two,
Oh, good morning, Macy. You saw me in line in the Sun Princess. Oh, I wish we would have said hello. By the way, if you folks ever see me on a ship, please do walk over and say hello.
Well, there were several people that did say hello to you in line.
Yeah, in fact, on the it was kind of cool on Resilient Lady, because Resilient Lady was a 2-day seminar at sea with just travel agents, and I had a bunch of agents just coming over and saying that what we do here and what we do on the ship actually helps to inspire them to create their own social channels and stuff like that. So that's awesome. I love it. So yeah, I'm glad you saw me. Next time, hopefully, we'll say hello. If anybody is going on the Explorer 2. December 13th, we'll be there. If anybody's going on the Ozmar journey, December 22nd, we'll be there. And if you're going on the Valiant Lady, January 8th, we'll be there. We're going to be cruising for the next month in a couple of weeks. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Good morning, Barbara. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let's see. Oh, Betty's here. Hey, Betty. So talking about the Black Friday, obviously just keep dropping questions in the description there in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them, but I'm going to walk through some of the Black Friday deals that seem to be pretty good. And here's the thing, even before I get there, you're going to see, 40% off, 30% off, 80% off, 70% off. What does that even mean? You guys are like, well, it doesn't seem like it's that great of a deal. Well, that's just because there's this thing called the brochure rate. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook, I'm just going to go ahead and flip up an example on the screen. But there's this thing called a brochure rate. This is the rate that nobody actually pays on the ship. But this is the rate that the cruise line set for all the sales. So basically, what the cruise lines are going to do is they're going to figure out, well, what is that bottom line number that we want to sell this stateroom for? And in the example I have up on the screen right now, they're selling. I'm not going to say which cruise line this is because it doesn't matter. But the rate that you're going to pay is $3,064 to get this stateroom. And what the cruise line does is they say, well, we want it to be about $3,000. So what are we going to set the base rate to so that the percentages look really, really good? And in this case, the base rate for the room is almost $4,000. And then they're running a BOGO 60, so 60% off the second sailor. And then we've got a couple other incentives that we drop in there. And they'll show it to you on the invoice. They'll say, hey, look, man, your room was $4,000 and now it's $3,000. They just keep, whatever that percentage off is going to be, they'll just keep adjusting that quote unquote brochure rate. So your percentage off, you may see something that's 60% off today, 70% tomorrow, and you're like, well, geez, it went down by like $2 or it went down by $5 or maybe it went up by $10. Who knows? It's because they keep adjusting that actual brochure rate. And then when they say it's up to 60% off, it may not be 60% off every single category. There's going to be certain categories where it's not that much of a discount, or that category doesn't even apply. Like a lot of times with the guarantee categories, sometimes, or the sail away categories, they don't necessarily apply to the sales. So that's where these percentages come from. And that's why sometimes when you look at some of these, you're like, well, geez, it's not really that big of a deal. It's because, well, maybe they jacked up that brochure rate. So even though it went from, say, 50% off to 75% off, it's like, oh, well, it's a $50 savings. I thought it'd be a lot more because it went up by 25%. Well, they just it's just a little game they play. And of course, everybody plays that game, even in retail. But that's why sometimes when you see these big deals, it's not as good of a deal as you would expect. Now, some of the good deals that we are seeing out there right now. So Virgin Voyages is running their 80% off the second sailor, and they brought back the bar tab. You can get up to a $300 bar tab, depending on the room, depending on the sailing, depending on obviously a whole bunch of factors. We have seen up to $1,000 reductions on where the prices were, maybe even last month on Virgin Voyages. So Virgin Voyages has some very legitimate deals going on right now. Norwegian is saying 50% off all cruises. I mean, it's sort of kind of a similar deal as like their standard deal. However, there are pockets where there are some amazing deals. Like I said, we found $1,000 off a rate for one of our clients under Norwegian Aqua, which totally shocked me. Yes, it happened to be a transatlantic, but there are little pockets where Norwegian has some really good things going on. Royal Caribbean is basically the standard. They're saying up to $750 off. Of course, there's going to be a lot of restrictions on that. When the kids are out of school, it's not going to apply. When this is going on, that's not going to apply. So Royal Caribbean, there may be some good deals out there, but it's not like they're spectacular over what they typically are. Where are you going to find some better deals with Royal Caribbean? It's probably in the packages, the soda packages, the dinner packages, and all of that. There's probably better deals to be found there versus the cruises themselves. Carnival is running up to 40% off with a reduced deposit of 50% per person. Now they have low rates already, so you're not going to see big dramatic swings in their pricing. So you're going to see some minor deals in there. MSC is actually running 35% off, but they're including the drinks and the Wi-Fi, so that helps increase the value of that. And then up to 400% onboard credit. Again, the rates are really low, so it's not like you're going to see this. Oh my God, it's like $500 off. It's like $600 off. You're not going to see that, but you are now going to see that. Oh well, drinks and Wi-Fi are now included. Then whereas before you might have paid this rate, but you didn't get the drinks and Wi-Fi. So you're going to get that now. Azamara, they're running up to $4,000 off. Now that $4,000 off is going to be, top of the line suites, but they're running up to $1,000 off. Azamara has some amazing pricing. If you're somebody who likes Princess, you like Holland America, you like Celebrity, you might like Virgin Voyages, you like the fact that you tend to get more for your dollar than just a cruise fare. Azamara should be a cruise line that you should be looking at. They kind of call themselves unabashedly entry level luxury, which I don't really think they are, but they're country club casual. They're very casual luxury. They have a lot of inclusions in them, but they're offering up to $4,000 off. There are some legitimately great rates right now on Azamara. And if you haven't seen, they're coming back to Alaska in 2026 with 10 and 11 night cruises. There's a lot of greatness over on Azamara's site right now, and it's up to $750 of onboard credit. And of course, drinks are included, gratuities are included, the Oz Amazing Evening is included. The only thing that's not included really that you might want is Wi-Fi. You got to pay for the Wi-Fi.
And they're testing that being included as well, apparently. So that may be coming in the future. Yeah,
so standard Wi-Fi may show up in the future. Hey, Acom, how are you? Good to see you. You were on a cruise with us last December. That's awesome.
So it was either the Seashore or Serena.
That's true. So we were on the MSC Seashore in mid-December, and then we were on the Oceana Serena for the holidays. So, hey, good to see you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate you joining in. So Azamara, really good specials going on. And then Oceana has a 4-category upgrade going on. Plus, they're including the drinks package. They're saying up to a $5,500 value. So you can get the drinks package or $1,000 onboard credit or free or reduced airfare. So those are some of the good deals that are out there right now. So there are some legitimately great Black Friday deals out there. Some of them are just, redressing the same special, but there are some really good legitimate ones out there. So if you are considering booking a cruise for 25, 26, this really is a good couple of weeks to do it. Certainly reach out and just tell us, hey, here's where I'd like to go. This is when I'd like to go. And we can take a look and see what we can find.
And hopefully you've been kind of planning ahead for this and you've been tracking the prices of what you're interested in prior to all these sales happening.
Yeah.
So you know whether it's a good deal
and
or
we
not.
can tell you too. I mean, just basically, even if we haven't priced that particular ship in a while, we can be like, oh yeah, no, this is definitely a good deal compared to what we're seeing. Oh, it was the MSC Seashore. Awesome. We had a great time on that ship. I'll be honest, I had a better time on the sea side, but I did enjoy the seashore. We're looking at the World America right now. I don't know anybody else looking at the World America, MSC World America. She looks like she's going to be insane. Really excited to go on that ship and see what it's all about. MSC is starting to become more, hey, Kenneth, how are you? Good to see you. It's been a while. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks so much for tuning in. But, you know, MSC, if MSC can get their service and their included food to be much more consistent, I think they're going to start making a lot of noise. Now, they're building that beautiful terminal in Miami. They say 3 ships can dock up there at any given time. So, you know, you're going to be on Royal Caribbean looking at potentially up to 3 ships right in front of you when that goes online. So it should be pretty amazing.
And certainly their sister brand Explorer. We are so excited to try them out.
We could not be. I think I'm really excited. So we've got 2 in a row that we're really excited about. We got the Explorer 2 and then we got Azamara. We're so excited to be getting on these 2. We're so thrilled that we're actually able to do this. I mean, yes, is it going to be fun? Yes, it's going to be fun, but it's also research for us. I spend a lot of time going over the ships, and I shoot a lot of content so you guys can see it. And I try to talk to as many people as I can on the various ships, including the passengers. Passengers have a lot of great things to say. You know, how has the cruise line changed? How does this compare to the other lines they go on? So it's a lot of work. Yes, we do have fun doing it, but it is a lot of work. And of course, we're going to be, if you are one of our clients or you want to reach out to us, we're going to be running our companies from the ships. That's a beautiful thing about the high-speed Wi-Fi that's now available on all these ships. We're able to pretty much run our company just exactly as if we were home. These are the most beautiful remote workplaces you could ever imagine. So if you're somebody who works from home and, you know, you've thought about it, you know, hey, you know, you could start thinking about working from ships. It was a lot of fun. So, Sue and Phil, thank you very much for bringing that up. If you have not seen, Sue and Phil said, thank you for keeping us aware of the changes in regard to the ETAs in the United Kingdom. This is a big deal. This is a very big deal. If you are going to be traveling to the United Kingdom after January 8th or on or after January 8th, 2025.
Talking England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland.
Yeah, the United Kingdom. If you are going there, you must have an electronic travel authorization. This is not a visa. So it's a visa waiver. But they are now tracking who is coming into the country and who is exiting the country, just like the United States does. And a lot of people are like, well, I can't believe they're doing this. Anybody who's coming to the United States from the United Kingdom and from many other countries, they actually have to do the exact same thing to come here. Now, it's very simple to do. You can do it through a website and you can do it through an app. I actually did a TikTok on this. I'm going to put the link on our website. I'm actually going to put a quick blog on our website, but it's called the Electronic Travel Authorization. The cost is going to be £10 per person, and you must do it for every single member of the travel party, including children and babies. Nobody is exempt from this. The application process is supposed to take 3 business days. It's all electronic, so they're going to let you know. Now, they did say that if you forgot or something, you can literally apply for it and travel while you're waiting for this thing to go through. Now, you can spend up to 6 months. You can travel to the United Kingdom as many times as you want. The thing is good for 2 years. 2 years of travel. Go as much as you want. And you can stay in the United Kingdom for up to 6 months. But every person traveling to the United Kingdom, we actually got the reminder from Norwegian Cruise Line recently. So if you're going by land, and this also applies if it's a port stop. If you're going to be stopping in England, your cruise starts somewhere else and it's going to end somewhere else, but the United Kingdom is a stop or maybe multiple stops. According to the information on the official website, you're going to need to have an ETA just to step onto the soil and go do things. So things to be aware of, big thing to be aware of, traveling to the United Kingdom by sea, by land, by air. You're going to need electronic travel authorization.
It starts in January?
January 8th.
January 8th.
January
And the applications start, I think, the end of December.
Nope, the applications start in 3 days, November 27th.
November. Well, I knew it was the end
November
of some month.
27th. Don't listen to her. No, actually do listen to her. She knows more stuff than I do. See, I'm just the one that sits here on camera, but she's the one, who has all that background knowledge of everything. So thank you very much, Sue and Phil, for that. If you have more questions about it, certainly do reach out. I do have the links to the website. I realized I meant to drop a blog on our website, but yeah, so it's called the United Kingdom ETA, electronic travel authorization. Everyone who does not have a British or Irish passport will need to get one to go into the country.
And this is entirely separate from the ETI.
Yeah,
whatever those were. The one for the rest of Europe.
That one's also coming in 2025, but they haven't announced it. So basically, any travel to Europe in 2025, once the ETIS kicks in, you're going to basically need, except for a few countries, you're going to need some sort of an electronic travel waiver. And if the United Kingdom and the rest of Europe are included, you're going to need 2 of them. Thank you, Europe. Thank you, Brexit, for all of that. So
and don't go getting involved. That we do. This country does the same.
Yeah, it
thing
does the
to
same
other
thing.
people,
At least it's just one for this country. But of course, if you're going to U.S. and Canada, well, then you got to do 2 different ones. So I guess it's kind of like that. So anyway, Alex, have we announced the upcoming group cruise that's going to be over Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving of 2025, we're looking at Celebrity. We're looking at 2 ships. For Thanksgiving of 2025. It's going to be out of Florida. It's either going to be out of Port Canaveral or it's going to be out of Tampa. So if you'd like to join us, we're going to be on a 1-week Thanksgiving cruise next year. It's 2 classes of ships that we've never sailed. So it's going to be one of those 2. So stay tuned. We should have something this week, Alex. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing that. Stephen, I'm sorry. I know Europe is not one country. Those of us in America, we just tend to go, Europe. But yes, you're absolutely right.
Well, there are a lot of people who think the U.S. and Canada aren't really all that different, but
yeah.
they're also separate
But you're
countries.
absolutely right. Every country over there has the right to do their own rules and regulations. So no, you're absolutely right, Stephen. Or Stefan, I'm sorry. I guess it's Stefan. It's Stefan. My apologies. Philadelphia, have we had anyone win a bid to upgrade staterooms on Virgin Voyages? If so, how'd it work out? Yeah, we did. We actually did it. We don't really like the bidding process that much on most cruise lines. However, when bidding up to a sea terrace on Virgin Voyages, we know that the only bad sea terraces are really the ones, and they're not bad. It's just, if you're up on deck 14, that overhang, it's basically a roof above your head, so you can't really look up that well. So it's not like it's a bad location, just our least favorite. But we know that if you bid for a sea terrace or up on Virgin Voyages, you're really not going to be in any kind of a bad location at all. And this is true of all the cruise lines. 2 things to keep in mind. 1, when you bid on something, it doesn't mean that it's available. What the cruise lines are doing is they're just creating a wait list because they know people are going to cancel. So when somebody cancels, let's just say every suite is sold out on the ship, but you're going to go ahead and bid on a Brilliant suite, you're going to bid on a Seriously suite, they're not available. But if somebody cancels, the next person in line is going to get, boom, that's now your Seriously suite. So that's number 1. The room may not even be available. But number 2, these things are run by an algorithm. And as Rebecca discovered recently, some cruise lines have a third-party service that runs it. They don't even do it. So it's literally an algorithm. There is no human intervention whatsoever in the process on pretty much every cruise line. So it's I have more status and I have more this and who knows? There's some algorithm that runs, and if they accept your bid, you're done. There's no, hey, Philadelphia, would you like this stateroom? It's no, your credit card is charged. You're put into that room. Your old room is now gone, and somebody who bid on your room is now moving into that room. So there's also that domino effect that happens. Maybe all the sea terraces are sold out, but now you just got a suite. So now your sea terrace is available. The system drops somebody into yours. So really, the bidding process is just simply a wait list for when people cancel. That's really what it is. And if you don't get the bid, then no harm, no foul. Nothing is charged to you.
And we did a very, very minimal bid when we did it.
Yeah, we did almost nothing at all.
I think it was, I want to say it was only like maybe $50 total over the minimum bid.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Some people are like, well, I bid 8,000. Well, I bid this. And, when we bid, we're just like, if we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. So we're not putting a lot of effort into it.
No.
So,
and I'm not going to pay. I try to, if I think I might even possibly want to bid, I try and figure out what that cabin would have cost me. Like when I buy it originally, I look at the prices of all the other cabins at that time, and I'm not going to make I'm not going to make it so I'm paying more than what I would if I'd have bought it originally to begin with.
Right.
If I had just bought that, Seriously Sweet at the very get-go, I am not going to pay more.
Yeah, so you're bidding for a Seriously Sweet or a Sweet F Suite. Well, good luck. Good luck. I hope you get it. We were just in a Seriously Sweet on the Resilient Lady. They're lovely. We've done the Cheeky Corner Suite. We've done the Seriously Suite. We've done the Central Sea Terrace, the Sea Terrace. We haven't done the XL Sea Terrace, so that's what.
But we did get to see one.
Yeah, we got to see it. And I'll tell you another thing that we got to see that was really cool. But Jada is asking, what if you're changing planes in London to a destination other than England? I think it's no, but you're going to want to check the website. If you simply look up, if anybody's watching this and Google's Electronic Travel Authorization UK, there's an official website that will come up. It will tell you right there. It says if you're visiting the United Kingdom. So in that case, you're kind of passing through. I don't think so, because I don't think you're going to have to go through customs just to change
that's
planes.
The key.
If you have to actually go through custom to enter the United Kingdom, because I think what we learned that one time, that Tom Hanks movie or whatever, where the guy is stuck in the airport because he hasn't actually entered the United States yet because he can't leave the airport. So the airport is like this limbo land. So I think the answer would be no, you don't need it, but certainly I would check with that website just to make sure. So, Corey, well, thank you. I'm glad we saved you a ton of money on your travels. We've certainly saved our clients a ton of money on their travels by finding things for them. Stefan, I'm glad it was a good reminder for you. Picking up pennies, that's fun. So this is why there's no last minute offers on cruises. This is a big reason why you don't see very many cheap last minute offers, because the cruise lines realize, hey, you know what? Why are we giving these cabins away? We can get people who are already on the ship to bid up and pay for those staterooms. So yeah, and if there are really good specials on a cruise, like a deep discount is usually on the very low categories because people have bid up. But you're absolutely right. Alex, yeah, you're thinking of Catch Me If You Can. Yeah, that's the one where they were chasing that dude. But Tom Hanks played, it's a true story, where a gentleman got stuck in an airport.
The country he was from.
Something happened.
There was some sort of war dispute or whatever, but his passport was no longer valid.
Yeah.
So the country was no longer valid.
So he was literally stuck in the airport.
Yeah.
It could not leave the airport. So Philadelphia, what did we think of the Seriously Sweet? There was a minimum bid on all upgrades, at least $1,400. I don't know what you paid. The Seriously Sweet is very, very, all the suites are nice on Virgin Voyages. Yeah. You get the bar, you get the full bar. You get a larger stateroom. You got your Rockstar agent. I will say having that Rockstar agent was fabulous because, at the last minute we decided, you know what, we don't want to go to Razzle Dazzle tonight. We'd rather go to Extra Virgin, and there are priority dining slots for the Rockstars. So even though it was day of and it was 10 o'clock in the afternoon, 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning, day of, he got his reservations in the Extra Virgin, and that was actually kind of nice. There's not a whole lot else other than Richard's Rooftop that you're really getting, like, with a lot of other cruise lines, and Virgin is looking at this. You have your own restaurant, you have your own lounge, you have your own, like, there's a lot of other things that come with it. Whereas with Virgin Voyages, you get that really nice suite, you get the Richard's Rooftop, and then you get access to the Rockstar agent. And if you go up to a certain level, then there's like some bar tab that gets added and things like that. So there's not quite as much included with a Virgin Voyages suite than everybody else, because everybody gets everything. Everybody gets Wi-Fi, everybody gets all the meals, everybody gets soft drinks, and everybody gets the gratuity. So those things are already added in for the entire ship. So it's not quite as much of a difference, other than getting that really nice suite, that amazing bathroom. Oh my God, the shower is absolutely beautiful in the Seriously suite and all of the suites. So.
And if the minimum bid was $1,400 for the cabin, not per person, then that's actually not bad.
That's not bad. If it's $1,400 per person, I probably wouldn't do it. That's just me personally.
I wouldn't.
But if it's for the cabin, it's up to you. Yeah. But that would be something where we might try for it, because we know if we don't get it, they're not going to charge us for it anyway. But
the cabin, then that's a maybe for me.
The terminal, that's what it was called. Thank you, CJ. I appreciate it. That was the movie. It's called The Terminal, with Tom Hanks, where a gentleman literally gets stuck at the airport and can't leave the airport. And I want to say he spent like a year there or something like that. Some like crazy amount. Like, everybody at the airport knew this guy, and he literally lived at the airport because he could not leave the airport. It was insane. So yeah. So thank you for that, CJ. That was going to drive me crazy. That's awesome. What time is it? Wow, man. So it's already past the top of the hour. So, folks, I'm going to remind you that we're Where's Walter Travel. We book cruises, land, luxury, expedition. Our services are 100% free to you. So if we can help you in any way, reach out, where'swaltertravel.com. Wherever you're watching us, there's links in the description and all of that other good stuff. And we're also a top 100 sales agent with Virgin Voyages. It's one of the reasons why we were invited on the ship this past week. And we were invited on to Valiant Lady in January. There can be a big top 100 celebration. So we'll be on there as well. So ASD, inconceivable. I know, it's inconceivable that somebody would be stuck at the airport for that long. If only Wallace Shawn was in that movie, it would have been even better. So, thanks, Alex. Please do hit that like button if you like what we're doing. It tells all the social channels that you actually like what we're doing. We like what we're doing. I mean, we're like a top 30 travel agent now for the host agency that we work under. So we're very, very proud of that. We've only been in business for 2 years. We've been a top 100 sales agent for Virgin Voyages both years. So that was pretty exciting. In fact, Virgin, when I was talking to the CEO, he's like, man, you're like 2 years in a row now. And I said, yeah, we're only 2 years in. He's like, you're only 2 years in? That's pretty good. So so thank you to everybody for allowing us to work with you. And this is the new plushie. This is the new addition to the fleet. If you haven't seen it, it's the cute little Virgin Voyages ship. Every time I see a plushie or I see an inflatable, I got to get it. Because I like the silly things. I like to get the silly things from cruises. What do you guys like to bring home from the cruise ships? Legally.
Don't want to know about anything else.
What kind of trinkets do you guys bring home from the cruise ships to remember? One of the cool things about the Princess medallions is they're magnetic. So you can stick them on the fridge. And as we talked about in a previous show, you can now order custom medallions. And one of the things you can get on it is the name of the ship. So what a great way a great memento for your journey is to get the name of the ship, because it has the date on the outside of it. So what about you, Rebecca? What do you like to bring home from a ship?
We've moved so much. I'm kind of anti-thing.
Yeah.
So I really don't get much. Occasionally we'll get, if I see a magnet I like.
Yeah, the magnet game has kind of fallen off.
Yeah, they haven't seen a lot of really good ones lately.
No. I mean, plushies and inflatables, they're still pretty good. But the magnet game has kind of fallen. I don't know what's up with you guys, cruise lines, but your magnet game has really fallen off. They're kind of boring anymore. So we need to get better ship magnets.
I really don't. I do much in the way of trinkets because
Yeah.
I have more than enough t-shirts to last me the rest of my life. So I don't need t-shirts. It's got to be an amazing t-shirt.
Barbara said Norwegian gave them a patch and a pin of the Epic. I will say when we went on the Icon, when we went on the preview, we got this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous set of pins from the Icon, and Stephanie had a great idea to turn them all into magnets. So we have not done that yet. We're going to turn them into magnets and put them up on the fridge. They gave us a beautiful set of pins. Hey, Lake Havasu, Arizona. How you doing? I hope I said that right. Or Havasu? Havasu?
I think it's Sue. I think.
Sue, I don't know. We've never been there. How do we say it? Do we say
We've not been to Arizona.
Is it Havasu, Arizona? That looks good. I like that. I guess I should have asked at one point, is anybody cruising today? Anybody cruising this weekend? Anybody ready for a Thanksgiving cruise? We got a bunch of friends going on a Thanksgiving cruise. That's usually us. Havasu. I like it. Thank you, Silver Librarian. We love cruising for Thanksgiving. We've done it like 5 times now because there's no drama. It's very relaxing. It's the first year in a very long time.
We didn't go last year.
We didn't go last year either?
Oh, yeah, we did. No, we did.
I gotta say, yeah, we had a group.
It was the year before that we didn't go.
Well, yeah, we had a group. So for those of you who were with us on the Valiant Lady, I apologize for my wife's lapse of memory.
It was the year before that we didn't go.
Yeah. So, hey, Rick, how are you? Good to see you. Megan says February is your next cruise. February, we got a big cruise. We are almost sold out. If anybody wants to join us, we are so close to being sold out. And when I say sold out, I mean the group rates. We're going to be on the Margaritaville Islander for Valentine's Day, February 11th through the 17th, 2025. This includes a Captain Vow renewal, but I think I have 4 staterooms left at the group rates. Once those are gone, then you've got to pay the prevailing rates. We've got about 150 people coming with us, and we've got Tony and Jenny B from Lido Loca are going to be there. They're going to do a meetup. It should be a lot of fun. And the rates are ridiculously low. Hey, B-Rad, how are you? Thanks so much for joining in. And since I talked about that one, let's talk about Philadelphia. Hopefully, it's still happening. The Norwegian Jewel, April 16th through the 23rd, 2026. This was not affected by all those cancellations from Norwegian. We're going to be sailing out of Philadelphia, going to Bermuda and Charleston, South Carolina. It will be the Bermuda Triangle cruise. We're going to be with Tony and Jenny B. There will be group events during the cruise. There may even be a group excursion. There's also going to be 2 days in Philadelphia prior to the cruise if you want to fly up early. We're looking at some food tours. We're looking at history tours. We're looking at some stuff to do as a group as well. And, of course, there's going to be Tony and Jenny B. the whole week on that one. We're going to Hawaii February 4th through the 20th, 2026. There's going to be a 16-day round trip from Los Angeles on the Emerald Princess. And we're going to tack on some days in Disneyland prior, maybe 2 or 3 days in Disneyland prior to that. We're going from LA. We go to Honolulu, Hilo, Kahului, Kauai. And then, of course, we got to stop in Ensenada on the way back. If you'd like to come join us for that one, February 4th through the 20th, 2026. Of course, we got the big Alaska cruise coming up in June. We still have some great staterooms on that. Our savings are around $2,000. I can't give out the pricing for any of this stuff because they don't allow us to. But that's going to be June 26th through July 8th on the Oceana Riviera. Only 1,200 passengers on the ship. We've got 8 ports over 12 nights, round trip Seattle. It's going to be absolutely stunning. And the prepaid gratuities are included. The drinks package is included. And you get $600 of shore excursion credit. That $600 shore excursion credit has been killed by Oceana. Nobody can get that anymore. But you can still get it. They grandfathered it into our group. So if you want to go up there, it's going to be amazing. And then we mentioned the Aqua a couple times. The Aqua, we're going to be on May 31st through June 7th. I think we've got like 4 or 5 staterooms left on that one. Port Canaveral, Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, Tortola, Great Stirrup Key. I ran through all of that really, really fast, but wherever you're watching me, there are links in the description to go to the website. Group travel, just click on that and you will see the whole list of all the groups that we've got going on so far. And if you want me to repeat any of that, I'll be more than happy to repeat and talk about some of those as well, because I love talking about cruising. So, so great. Oh, Terry is going on the Apex. So Sheila wants to know, like, they book cruises on their own. What are the advantages of using a travel agent? Onboard credits, prepaid visa, etc. So we have been cruising for almost 20 years, and in all that time, we've always used a travel agent, even before we became agents ourselves. There are multiple advantages to using the travel agent. Number one, we work for you. We're an independent travel agent, so we do not work for the cruise lines. So when it comes time for pricing and looking and exploring various itineraries, we don't push you to any single cruise line. When you book on your own, or you call, or you work with your personal vacation advisor, whatever they call them at the various cruise lines, their one and only job is to make sure you book that cruise line. Do not go away from that cruise line. Our concern is making sure that you get the best value and the best experience. So we're going to find the ship and the cruise line that works best for you. And there are times when we present options to our clients that they've never even considered. Either they didn't know they existed, or they dismissed them for one reason or another, not realizing that maybe that ship, that cruise line, that itinerary was really going to give them what they wanted versus the one that they came to us with. So that's one of the great things right there. So we work as a partner with you. We can find good deals for you from time to time because we work under KHM Travel Group, which is also a part of Travel Leaders Network. We have access to group rates when they're available. We have access to sometimes extra onboard amenities when they are available. And we try to, whenever we can, we try to add an extra amenity to your travels as well. That might be onboard credit. It might be something in your room when you come in, might be something else. But that's another thing that we do. But I think the most important aspect of using a travel agent is when things go sideways. You know, we can't work miracles, but when things go sideways, you're not the one getting on the phone with the cruise line or the travel partner, because, you know, we do cruises, we do land tours, we do everything. We do blendings of them. But when things go sideways, you're not the one that has to reach out to them. That's my job. And I have a chain of command. So number one, I'm going to reach out to my support team. That's a different support team. The public support team, I mean, you know, just being very honest, they're not always the best. They're not always the best trained. They don't always have the most knowledge. The teams that we work with as travel agents, they generally have more knowledge. They understand better the situations that we're talking about. So that's my first chain that I go up. And if I can't get the answers that I need there, or we can't get the resolution that we need there, well, then I have direct representation. I've got Tamika at Virgin Voyages. I've got Lele at Norwegian. I've got Kathy over at Royal Caribbean, Guillaume at Oceania. I have people, and I say this all the time, but these are people that I can literally email, pick up the phone, and talk through the situation. And if we're not getting the resolution that we want, well, then they can run it up the chain and get it in front of the right people. But do we always get the resolution that we want? No, but at least I can take it, you know, further up the chain and try to get a resolution. And I think that's the biggest advantage to having a travel agent, because we have access to people that you don't. We have access to teams that you don't. You can call a 1-800 number and you can ask for a supervisor, you can ask for a manager, and maybe you're going to get to the right people. But I'm going directly to somebody who's responsible to make sure that I keep selling their product. So they have a real incentive to make sure that we at least get some sort of a resolution, whether it's the one you want or not, but at least we're going to take it as far as we can and try to get that resolution. I think that's the best reason for working with a travel agent. And we always advocate for you. We don't advocate for the cruise line. We advocate for you, because it's in our best interest to make sure that you're taken care of so that you keep coming back to us. So go ahead.
And the one thing that some people don't realize is that we personally don't charge you a dime. We're making our money from commissions from the cruise line, and those commissions are already baked into the price of the cruise. So whether you use us or you don't, that commission's still there. Either we get it or the cruise line keeps it.
Yeah, so you're basically paying for a personalized travel service that you're not getting when you call the cruise line directly. I mean, and the reason why, and some people are like, well, why do they build that commission in there? I mean, why do they even keep that in there? Because travel agents, I learned this at a recent conference, travel agents sell something like 75% plus of all cruise cabin. Cruise lines can't sell them all themselves. There's just so many cabins out there. They simply don't have the bandwidth to take care of it. So that's why the commissions are all built right in. So whether you book through Where's Walter Travel or you book through Royal Caribbean, that stateroom is going to be the same price. It's just that instead of paying me the commission for helping you and making sure that everything's taken care of, Royal Caribbean just keeps it. That's all. So yeah, so that's probably a long-winded answer, but I hope that helped a little bit. Yeah. But again, our services are 100% free to you. We're located in Orlando, Florida, but we have clients nationwide. I even have a couple of international clients too. One of the beauties of social media, y'all get to see me from all over the world, which is kind of cool. So I've got clients from just about everywhere. In fact, I've got a big contingent of West Coast clients, which is really interesting. And I'll set up meetings, based on what works for you. I've had some meetings that start at 11 o'clock Eastern time because that's just the best time to work for them. So there you go. Barbara, Walter takes care of you. We needed to change our transfer time. It only took an email from us. Yeah, well, thank you, Barbara. And we try to respond to these emails within 24 hours. That's my goal, to respond to every email within 24 hours. I usually do it much faster than that, but I try to respond within 24 hours. And you all know, if you don't hear from me within 48 hours, you ping me again. And I'm like, yep, got it. Becky says you highly recommend 3 cruises booked with you, and we've saved you $900 on your Alaska cruise fare. Yeah, it's really easy for us. If there's a price check to be had, that's the other thing. You don't have to do it. Most of the time, like with Royal Caribbean Celebrity, I just go into the booking engine, I check it. If it's a new fare, boom, just change it. Other times I just have to call it in. So yeah, so there's a lot of things that you don't have to do. And we work as a team. We don't take over your travel. We work as a team. There's things that you're going to want to do on your own. And then there's things that maybe we can help you with and introduce you to other things. So, but thank you for the question. And, please do reach out. There's links in the description if you want to give us a try. Charlie, you're a widow and you travel alone. What are my suggestions for cruising solo? So, I think one of the things that's really good to look for are groups, so that you're going in with a known group of people. Especially with social media these days, right? So when you book in with a group, you start to know people on the Facebook pages and all these other social things. That's always wonderful. There are solo specific cruises, like river cruises. Riviera River Cruises, I believe, is the one that has something like 40 departures a year that are literally solo only. Now, some people say, well, I don't want to go on that because it's not just solo people. But if that is something that you're interested in, river cruising is very nice because it's only like 150 people on a boat because they're not that big. So that's a nice way to travel, where you got a nice little group of people. If you're looking to go more adult-centric, you would look at, say, like Princess, Holland America, Virgin Voyages. Virgin Voyages is a great cruise line for solos. Very open, very inviting, very social ship. A lot of people think it's a party ship. It's really not. It's a very social ship. Yeah, there is a big party. There's a crazy party on there called Scarlet Night. It's one night, but the rest of the time, it's a very chill, very open ship. Great ship to get to know other people. Another thing, if you are traveling solo, participate in trivia, participate in arts and craft, participate in things that you like, because that's how you meet other travelers on the ship. It's a great, all the cruise lines are going to have like a solo meetup and, this, that, and the other, but just participating in things, you come in and go, hey, anybody need an extra, whatever. And we do that all the time. We'll see solo people by themselves. Hey, come on over, join the team. Then you get to know them and you have dinner with them. You have some drinks with them, whatever it is. So that would be my recommendation. Certainly working with a travel agent like ourselves, we can help, make sure that we're putting you on some ships that you're going to like, some itineraries that you're going to like, and vacation that give you the best opportunity to do what it is you want to do. We do actually have quite a few solo travelers. In fact, Agnes, oh my gosh, we have one cruiser, Agnes. I think she got like 8 different cruises and 2 land tours. We booked her on a Trafalgar tour. We booked her on another tour. So yeah, she's traveling. I mean, I want to be Agnes when I grow up. She's going everywhere by herself, and it's absolutely lovely to watch.
And I realize the solo supplement is not fun. I understand that. There's reasons for it, but
bad reasons for it.
Well, ultimately, I think it's much more important, rather than get hung up on the solo supplement that you may have to pay, go for a cruise that you're going to enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And because it doesn't matter if you're getting the best deal in the world, if it's not something you're going to enjoy.
Exactly. And again, that's where we can try to help you find better deal. And sometimes it's as simple as changing from one week to another. Mm-hmm. Literally is. Like this week, you're going to pay 200% solo supplement. But if you go next week, it's 150 or 125% solo supplement. It's literally like that simple. Or maybe wait 2 weeks till they do the itinerary again. So that's another way where we can help out too, because as travel agents, we tend to see, I can see like all the cruises, like with Royal Caribbean, I literally see like every week. I can just click through week. And it's just really easy for me to go through a lot of things. Whereas on the public site, they make it a little harder, right? You got to start into the process of booking to see the price, and then you got to back out. You got to start into the process again. I just simply bring it up on the screen, and it's just, I can see the whole ship at a time on the screen. So it's much faster and easier for us to flip through itineraries and see, or flip through sailings to see which one is going to be the best deal for you. So just, reach out and let us know if we can help you out. But I hope that was some good advice for you right there. So Rick said he is almost getting ready. Let's see, you get off. Oh man, it's almost time for Rick to go on the Sun Princess, and you're going to be getting off when Tony and Don and the whole gang get on the ship. That's going to be fun. Alex, do I by any chance know when hotels open up booking? You've been looking at New Orleans for October of 25. They should be up now.
Yeah.
It's about a year.
Usually
hotels,
10 to 12 months.
Yeah, usually 10 to 12. Sometimes 14 or 15 months out, but all the New Orleans hotels should be up by now, easily. Yeah. So generally 1 year out, the hotels will come up. Same with the airlines. Airlines come up between 12 and 9 months out with their itineraries. So so you should be good to go. Or if you want us to look for some hotels for you, certainly just reach out, Alex. We would be more than happy. Rick says he booked 4 cruises with us and he keeps coming back. Walter and Rebecca are great. I'm definitely great. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. I love my wife. If you followed us at all for this journey, you know that I love my wife very, very much, and we would not be here if it were not for her. So she's absolutely amazing. Rebecca is what makes all of this run behind the scenes. She doesn't like to be on camera, but she's a huge part of this. And I admit freely to anybody who asks, Rebecca does a lot of the research for you guys. Because I'm in there, I'm booking and I'm doing the marketing and I'm talking to the cruise line, I'm doing all this other stuff. So Rebecca actually does the predominant amount of the research when it comes to searching for, I do that whole intake. I do a whole call with you guys. I find out, well, what are we trying to do? Where are we trying to go? Where are we trying to sail out of? What are we trying to do? I do all the land tours. I'll definitely look up all the land tours. But when it comes to the cruises, Rebecca actually does the predominant part of the research. And then we work together. Once she finds them, we kind of talk together. Okay, what were they looking for? This is what we got. All right, then these are the ones that we're going to present. We usually present you 3 or 4 options from there.
And I almost always, depending on how specific your request is, have backup options that we don't present. So if you don't like what we presented you, I probably have some other options for you.
Exactly. And very often we throw in at least one that you weren't expecting or one that you didn't ask for. Just because, again, these are like those things that, well, I'm going to go on Norwegian and I'm going to take this itinerary and it's going to be da. But then based on what you told me, that itinerary actually isn't as good as this other itinerary. Or maybe this ship has those things that you really wanted that's not on that ship. We've had that happen where, we've seen posts, or maybe a client came to us after the fact and said, well, I went on Norwegian Jewel and it didn't, my kids were bored because it didn't have. And it's like, well, the Jewel was the wrong ship to go on with the kids. You should go on a breakaway class or up. It's going to have all those other things that the kids are going to want to do. So, it's just working back and forth. And look, we don't know everything. And especially when it comes to the price reductions or price checks, that's a team sport. I'm totally honest with that. More often than not, it's the clients who are pinging us. And I've got one who literally, like almost on a weekly, bi-weekly basis, hey, I just got this email from so-and-so from the cruise line. It looks like they got a better deal going on. And I jump into the booking engine and I look, and she's been right once so far, but that one time, it's like $100 savings. So we jump in and we get it done. So What was I talking about? I don't know. Where was I going? Jada, having a travel agent is necessary. The last trip was a nightmare dealing with a travel company. It can be, and especially when there's multiple travel companies involved. Like I actually felt bad. I have a client who just got on a Norwegian ship, and she went ahead and booked the flights on her own without telling me that she was using Norwegian's flight service. Okay, when you do the BOGO, if you do that BOGO offer from Norwegian, you literally have no control of anything on the flights, right? You're going to get what you get. And while the website on Norwegian says, oh, we will work with the airlines if there are any problems, that has not been the case in reality with multiple clients who have used them. So the airline, her bag never got on the flight. Fortunately, she flew a day early, just like we always say. And the next day, the bags arrived the day of the cruise. So she just took an Uber to the airport, got her bags, came back, and got on the ship. But man, what stress that was. Because she wrote to me in the morning, and she's like, I can't even find who to contact at Norwegian. And I had to go find the 800 number for her. And I said, please talk to me before you book through a cruise line again. Because there are certain cruise lines that you can book through. And they do a good job.
And we're not saying that it always turns out badly with Norwegian. Some people have had excellent luck.
Yeah, some people do it all the time, and they have good luck. It just in our experience and hearing from our clients, it's not been their best experience. So while you are going to save money, sometimes it's better to spend a little bit more money on something like that just to make sure everything's going to work out. Plus, I actually recommend most of my clients to book directly through the airline, because you will get the best service from the airline if you book directly through them. Airlines don't work with travel agents anymore. So even if I booked you, I'm going to book you through a third party. I'm not booking you directly through the airline. So very often, I'll even recommend to my clients, like, look, this is the best rate I can get through the third party that I use. You should go look at the airline, because there's two things. One, there may be more
flight option.
So like I might have two that can get you from Orlando to Dallas. Whereas when you go to the airline, you're going to see 6, because they're only selling 2 up through a third party, but the other 4 are only available if you come to us. Secondly, the rate might actually be better. The fares might be better if you book directly. And that part of being a partner with you, yes, I could charge you more and go through a third party thing, but if it's going to save you money, I don't want to do that. I want you to go ahead and just book on your own. So
because we get zero commission from the airline, so our feelings are not hurt at all. We're happy to help you when you need it.
Yeah,
but
thanks, Charlie. Yeah, please do reach out. We would love to work with you. And Deep Blue Sea, thank you for the kind words on the videos. We try to put out good videos. I haven't put out nearly as many as I have in the past, but we've just been so doggone busy. We're very fortunate that the travel agency has taken off far beyond anything that I ever imagined. And so we're actually busy with that, which is why I like doing these lives, because at least, that gives me a chance to come on and talk to you guys. Of course, we won't be doing Thursday night. It's going to be Thanksgiving here in the U.S., but we will be, we're going to have normal office hours on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're not going anywhere. I'm going to be working Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So what a great weekend. If you want to start planning some travel, certainly, jump on our calendar. We will be here next Sunday for sure. But if you want to talk travel, if you're off this week or you're going to be off on the weekend, tomorrow tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun. I am going to meet with the team at Margaritaville at sea. I got invited to their offices. They're right here in Orlando. So I got invited to the offices. I'm meeting with Chris. He's the CEO. Frank is the vice president of sales, and some of the other team to talk about some things that some shortcomings that I've seen with Margaritaville at sea, and some areas where they can improve. And plus, we're going to be talking about the groups program. So that's kind of cool. I got invited down there. I'll be down there tomorrow morning for about an hour and a half or so. And then I'm going to meet with my team, the folks that I interface with. Again, we were talking about that earlier. What's the advantages of having a travel agent? Like, I'm actually going to meet with the CEO. I've had multiple conversations with Chris. He's a great guy. He wants the cruise line to be better. And, that's something that as a general public, you can put in a lot of feedback and you can ask questions and things like that. And I don't want to be mean and say, well, it sometimes can mean a little bit more coming from a travel agent, because we're going to support them directly by bringing them more business. So, and there's a lot of feedback that I'm taking with me that have come from my clients. and that's some of the feedback that I give them. So yeah, that's going to be kind of cool. I'm going to be meeting with Margaritaville at Sea in their offices tomorrow. I'm kind of curious to see what they look like. Will they be painted up and fun like their ships, or is it just going to be an office building? So I'm really excited about that.
Everybody is assigned a parrot.
Yeah, right. I'm hoping I get a parrot when I walk in. That'll be awesome.
This is your desk and this is your parrot.
That would be great. That would be absolutely awesome if it had to be a parrot head just to walk around in there. That'd be awesome.
No, I'm just a real parrot.
A real parrot. Oh my God.
No, everybody gets a parrot.
Oh my God.
It's a very noisy office.
Yeah. What is Margaritaville all about? So Margaritaville at Sea is a really, really fun cruise line. I'm still not a big fan of the Paradise. That's the original ship that sails out of West Palm. I understand the ship is better, but that ship was not renovated by Margaritaville. It had nothing to do with Margaritaville in the beginning, except for a licensing deal. Margaritaville, the corporation, was horrified by all the bad reviews and all the negativity happening around that ship and, of course, around their brand. They bought the company out last September. Then they bought the what is now the Margaritaville Islander. She was the Costa Atlantica at the time. So that ship was actually redesigned by Margaritaville to be a Margaritaville at Sea resort experience at sea. She spent 5 months in dry dock. She's still a 24-year-old ship, but they renovated her beautifully, and it's a really fun ship. It's a low-cost cruise. If you just want to get away for 4 to now 10 days, they just announced a 10-day cruise. They're doing Aruba and Curacao, so 10 days out of Tampa. So if you want to sail from 4 to 10 days and just have fun and enjoy cheeseburgers in paradise and a Mexican cutie cantina, really good pizza in the buffet, really good music throughout the ship. I mean, Jimmy Buffett's heritage is well represented. And the thing of it is, it's not 24/7 knock you over the head. This is Jimmy Buffett's cruise line. No, it's like great mix of music playing, but you're not going to hear Jimmy all day long. You will see some concert playing up on the screen, but that's not what's playing all day long. So it's got the Jimmy Buffett vibe, but without hitting you over the head and saying, yep, this is Jimmy Buffett. This is Jimmy Buffett. It's just a really cool, chill, relaxed cruise line. We're going to be on there in February again. Cannot wait. In fact, I'm going to be on there in January. If anybody's cruising on the Islander January 28th, this is kind of cool. We're taking a corporate group on there. A corporate group is going to be doing their annual sales meeting on the Margaritaville Islander. That's another thing that we do. We help corporation plan retreats, incentives. I just booked another group on the Scarlet Lady. They just booked on the Scarlet Lady. They're doing a 6-day Western Caribbean, and they're going to do some meetings during that cruise. And I'm working with another group that's going to put up to 300 people on the Brilliant Lady. So, if you're doing meetings, if you're doing sales, you're doing whatever with a company, and you've got, 20 or more people that you want to bring together to host meetings and things like that, cruise lines are a great way to do that because everybody's in one space and the meeting space is all right there. The food's included, drinks are included, everything's included. So, yeah, so I'll be on the Margaritaville Islander January 28th. For 4 nights, and then I'll be back again on February 11th for the 6-night cruise with the Valentine's group. So, Jada, I can't wait to meet you guys too. That should be a lot of fun. But that's what Margaritaville is all about. Come as you are, have fun. They're like the lower cost version of Virgin Voyages. Virgin Voyages is very much come as you are, be who you are. That's what Margaritaville is, just with a lower price tag. Great crew, really good service, good food. They just need to get the travel agent side of things working. Right now, the travel agent support side, the technologically, it's very poor support right now. But the actual cruise line itself, great cruise line, a lot of fun.
Cabins are nice.
Cabins are nice. So what they did with that ship, they stripped all the cabins down to bare bones. And so all the cabins are brand spanking new. They did a beautiful job with that. The rest of the ship, it's a combination. We stripped it all the way down, or maybe we just, cleaned it up really well and enhanced what was there. Non-smoking casino. Well, that's kind of cool for me. I don't smoke. So the casino is non-smoking, but it's a lovely casino. Basically what they said was the ceiling is so low that they were concerned about the health of their employees. So they said, look, it's just going to be non-smoking. And it hasn't hurt them one bit. I've talked to the casino boss while I was on the ship. He said, it hasn't hurt us at all in terms of that. So that's really cool. But yeah, so they sail out of Tampa. That's where the Margaritaville Islander sails out of. And then if you just want to go on a short 2-night or 4-night cruise, you can also go to West Palm. That has the original Paradise, which is not a ship that I really want to sail. Look, I'm honest. That's one thing about being a travel agent. I'm very, very honest about all this stuff. And it's not exactly a ship I want to sail on. I haven't sold it yet. But those who have gone on it have said, hey, you know what? Look, we had a good time. You accept it for what it is. That's the biggest thing about any ship. You know, you got to accept the ship for what it is. And if you accept the ship for what it is, then you're going to have a great time. You're going to have an absolutely great time. So that's true of anybody.
It's kind of true of life.
True of life. Pick a good life partner and then just laugh.
I mean, it's no sense comparing things to other stuff. Just accept what is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's why we had a good time on MSC. So, you know, we accepted MSC for what it was, and we had a good time. Cat Lady, should you wait until the sales start next week to upgrade your Royal Caribbean Mariner of the Seas trip in May? Well, the Black Friday sales are already going. So
I guess Black Friday starts after Halloween now.
Well, what we noticed, and in fact, you know, there's something called wave season with cruise lines where they offer their best rates for the entire year. Usually is in the very, very beginning of the year. Usually it's like January to March. That's when the most cruises, believe it or not, the most cruises are booked between January and March for the entire year. It's kind of crazy. And that's when they offer their best rates. But what we noticed this year is the wave offers already started with Black Friday. So now they're combining Black Friday and the wave offers, which is really, really interesting. I don't know why, but they are. There's no reason to wait until next week to upgrade, especially if you're working with a travel agent who can just go in there and check your pricing. They can check the rates. Keep in mind, the longer you wait, the less inventory there is. You know, Royal Caribbean is selling thousands of cabins a day through travel agents and through themselves. So the longer you wait, the less inventory there's going to be. You might pay a little bit more today, but at least it'll still be there. Whereas if you go next week, price might be lower, but they're all gone. I always say book it when you're ready. And then if the price goes down, especially if you're working with a travel agent like myself, you know, book it today. And then if it goes down by $500 next week, all I do is go into the booking engine and say, take the new rate.
And he can do that up until final payment.
Yeah, I can do that right up until final payment. All I do is click on the new rate and say, take that rate instead. And guess what? Your room just went down by $500. So, or if I can't do it, I just simply call the cruise line and have them do it.
When the reason things would go down if your category's already sold out is because they're selling guarantee cabins. That's why that's
the other thing too. So I had a client reach out to me and say, hey, I just noticed that, you know, my balcony category went down. Well, it switched to a guarantee, which means that if I were to rebook you at that rate, you would actually be taken out of your stateroom that you already have. And now you're just going to be in that guarantee pool and you're not really sure where you're going to be. And she decided, yeah, no, it's not worth it for that. I want my stateroom where it is. I'm a big fan. It's the one part of cruising I wish would just be banned and outlawed, you know, guarantee. I do not like guarantee at all. Everybody should have an assigned room before you get on the ship, right at the moment that you book it. So that, look, I know this is my stateroom. And they're not going to play games, and maybe they're going to run out of rooms, and I'm not even going to get on the ship. So I really do not like the whole guarantee game. And very often the price difference is like $100 maybe. There are some cruises where it might be $200 to $500 difference, but even there, it's like I want to know where my room is. And when you work with a travel agent like myself, well, we can always just get the room reduced. If you see that, hey, I think the room went down, all I do is look at it, pick the new rate, or I just call the cruise line and have them, you know, fix the rate. That's all. And we try to make it easy for you guys. We try to work on your behalf. Do we catch everything? No. Can we fix everything? No. But we do our best. You know, we do our best to try. I think we've got a better shot at getting a resolution than, well, you know, here's a great example. I have one client, he works with me now, but at the time he booked through the cruise line directly. Before, like I booked like 2 or 3 cruises with this person, but he still has one that he booked before me, and he was having a real problem with it. And he finally came to me. He said, look, I've been calling the cruise line for a month, and it's a really good cruise line. I have a great relationship with this cruise line. He said, I've been calling for a month. I'm getting the runaround. I can't get back to the guy who sold me the cruise, like my agent. You know, you can have a personal agent at some of these cruise lines. And I can't get back to the guy, and I'm getting a runaround. So what's going on? So I reached out to my representative and he said, look, that's a whole nother side of the cruise line, but I will reach out to my contacts over there and see what we can do. And after a month and a half of him trying to get in touch with somebody, within 2 days, somebody called him from the cruise line, from that division of the cruise line, and got that. And now, they're getting everything taken care of. So that's another place where we can help out with things like that too, where that wasn't even my booking, wasn't even my part of the cruise line that I was working with, but at least I can put the bug in their ear and say, can somebody just please reach out to this poor guy? He just needs some help. And they were able to do it. So that always makes me feel good. That's all we want to do. We just want to take care of you guys and make sure that y'all are taken care of. So anyways, closing in on the top of the hour already. And I know I have a phone call in about an hour or so. So we're going to be wrapping this up shortly. If you got any more questions for me, please do drop them in there. We will be back next Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Thursday night, of course, we're not going to be here because it will be Thanksgiving here in the United States.
And everybody will be in a food coma.
Everybody will be in a food coma. We're really excited. One of our friends, Zach, is coming over for the day. So we're just going to be noshing all day. We're going to be cooking all day. We're going to be relaxing, but we will be here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you want to book, want to talk about travel plans, or you're off this week, it's a great week to go ahead and take care of travel plans. And like I said, if the rate goes down after we book you, we'll just fix it for you. So I'm going to run through our groups really quick, really quick. In April of 2026, April 16th through the 23rd, we're on the Norwegian Jewel out of Philadelphia, 7 nights. That's the Loca group cruise with Tony and Jenny B. We are a proud travel partner with Loca, with Sean and Stef, and with Cruise RX, our buddy Peter over at Cruise RX. So that's going to be April 16th through the 23rd, 2026 on the Norwegian Jewel out of Philadelphia. On February 11th through the 17th, I've got about 4 or 5 cabins left on the Margaritaville Islander for Valentine's Day, including a Captain's Vow renewal. February 4th through the 20th, 2026, we're going to Hawaii round trip from Los Angeles on the Emerald Princess. Let's see, June 26th through July 8th, 2025, we're going to be in Alaska for 12 nights on the Oceania Riviera, savings of around $2,000. And then May 31st, 2025, we're going to be on the Norwegian Aqua for 7 nights in the Eastern Caribbean. I think we've got 4 or 5 cabins left on that at the group rate. I did that really fast. Just go to where'swaltertravel.com, go to group travel. You can see all of the group cruises right there and all the information about them. You certainly reach out to us. And of course, wherever you're watching me, profile, links in the description. There's links to get in touch with me. It's super easy. Where'swaltertravel.com. It's pretty easy to remember.
Hopefully by, say, Cyber Monday, we'll have an announcement on a Thanksgiving cruise for next year. Yeah,
we're going to announce it so everybody can start making your plans for next year. Chris, have we been on the Icon? Yes, and in fact, I have a whole Icon playlist. You're watching me on TikTok. I have a whole Icon playlist on TikTok. Had a great time. Beautiful ship. I like it more than the Oasis class. I think they cleaned up a lot of the things that annoyed me on the Oasis class. There's like some dead ends, some traffic flows, things like that. The Aqua Dome, the first time you walk in there and you actually come around the Aqua Theater and you see the overlook, it literally takes your breath away. There's nothing like it at sea. It is one of the most beautiful spaces at sea. Absolutely. So yeah, Icon's a great ship. It is certainly the most costly right now because hey, she is the newest of the new, and right now she's one of one. The Star will be coming out soon. So once the Star comes out, maybe things will change. But I will say I have friends and family rates on the Icon of the Seas. Which sailings I have changes pretty much weekly. They come out with a new list every week of new friends and family rates. Icon being one of those. So if you want to reach out, I do get balconies that are plus or minus 4,000, which is really good for 2 people, which is really good for the Icon. So I do get some pretty good rates on the Icon compared to what the public rates are for 1 or 2 categories. So yeah, if you're interested in it, we've been on it. We've got folks booked on it. And we also have folks booked on the Star of the Seas. So
in fact, on our train ride home from Virgin, there were some people across the aisle who had just come back and had an amazing time on the Icon.
Exactly. Joe wants an elevator pitch on a travel agent. We just spent almost 10 minutes talking about why to use a travel agent earlier in the show. But, you know, one, real quick, we advocate for you. Two, sometimes we can save you money. Three, when things go sideways, we help to get you resolutions. Those are the three big.
Four, it doesn't cost you anything.
And four, it doesn't cost you anything. We're 100% free. But if you want to see the full explanation, go back about 15 minutes in the show, and you will see the full explanation. We had a long discussion about that. But, you know, the biggest thing is you're not going to pay for our services. Two, we work for you. We don't work for the cruise lines. So we always advocate for you. We have access to people that you don't. And we have access sometimes to deals and to amenities that you can't get through the cruise lines. It's really interesting. That part of it is really intriguing to me because there are very often things that are just, you know, the cruise lines try to make it, and all of our travel partners try to make it so that there's actually a reason to use travel agent. And that's one of the big ones where it's like, hey, we get deals and we get things that you don't necessarily see online that you can't even get, even if you call the cruise line. They're like, we don't know what you're talking about. So, but we have access to every one of the public specials. So it's just kind of interesting. So that's the quick elevator pitch, but go back about 10, 15 minutes in the show, and we actually had a whole long discussion on why to use a travel agent. So thank you for the kind words. Certainly do reach out if you'd like to work with us, folks. I am Walter with Where's Walter Travel. We're an independent travel agency. We sell cruises, land, luxury, expedition. My lovely wife, Rebecca, sitting right off camera. We do this together. We thank you for all of your support. We're one of the top travel agencies in the nation now, as we have found out, independent travel agent in the nation, as we have been finding out. We just keep doing what we do, and it seems like you all like our services. And while we're not perfect, we do try our best every day to bring you the best vacations that we can, and we try to get you the best resolutions we can when things go sideways. So with all of that being said, folks,
it is. Got one more question on TikTok that is easy.
Oh. Deep Blue Sea. How do cruise line benefit from travel agent? Here's the easy answer. We sell 75% or more of all cruise line staterooms. Cruise lines only sell about 25% of their staterooms, industry wide. I found that out at a recent conference. So without travel agents, 75% of cruise cabins might go unsold.
And that would not be profitable for the companies.
It would not be profitable. So without travel agents, cruise lines could not run their businesses. It's actually that simple. So that is the big benefit for cruise lines with travel agents. We keep their ships full. So folks, with that, I'm going to wrap it up. I've got a call in an hour. Thank you so much for your time today. For all my American friends, do have a lovely Thanksgiving this week. We'll see you next Thursday. We'll be back next Thursday. We will be fully open for business this week, except for Thursday, obviously. But if you want to talk to us this week, want to talk to us this weekend, just reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com. Contact us. There's links on TikTok. There's links on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, wherever you're watching us from. So everybody, thank you so much for spending some of your Sunday with us, and have an amazing rest of your weekend. We'll see you next Sunday. See you guys.